What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool news video, and I will talk about the Liverpool statement that Liverpool put out yesterday because I think it's a very strong statement and I think all football fans should get behind this. We need really big independent investigations into the whole process of VAR and the whole process of how the PGMOL works, because it affects every single club. They already issued 13 apologies, PGMOL, the referees union, because of 13 mistakes. When you have VAR and when you have 20 cameras and multiple replay angles, you shouldn't mess up this many times, and so many clubs are suffering from game and season altering awful decisions by horrendous incompetent referees. So let me know, where do you stand? How would you fix VAR? Because it's not the system or the machine that is at fault, it's the people operating it. And I think Howard Webb should be sacked and the whole referees union should be reviewed by an independent regulator. So I don't understand why so many journalists are against this and so many media outlets are against this, and they are not rallying behind this Liverpool statement, because this is an opportunity for significant change to improve English football, to improve the Premier League, so we get a more fair competition where the talk is not about, match fixing and corruption and incompetent, awful referees, because it honestly ruins the Premier League, it ruins the brand and it ruins the reputation of the officials as well. And Liverpool have said that it's not good enough, that there was not enough time afforded for VAR to make the correct decisions, and also it's unacceptable that such failings have already been categorized as significant human error. And Liverpool FC are right. Why was already established what actually happened before the review happened, which is really strange. And full transparency should be accomplished. They should release the audio file at the time of recording, which is Monday evening of recording this video. They still haven't published the audio of the VAR call that was the worst refereeing call, I think, in the history of the Premier League, where Luis Diaz was clearly onside. And I think Liverpool are perfectly in their rights to explore their options, given the clear need for escalation and resolution, which means that they are probably planning to sue the PGMOL or to sue the referees union, because simply just to say it's an error, it's a human error, is not good enough. There is clearly so many people who messed up and so many people who had a clear agenda against Liverpool, because you can't explain all of the big decisions going against Liverpool any way else. Tottenham got literally all of the calls in their favor, which is really strange and really unusual in such a big game. I mean, how could they already determine how this VAR situation, the VAR mess up, happened before the actual review has taken place? That's actually incredible. And I think the main point is that all the clubs and all football fans should be supporting this, because every club seems to be getting awful decisions against them, and it's getting worse and worse every week. I mean, under Jurgen Klopp, in 7.5 years, Liverpool got 7 red cards against them. This season we already have 4 red cards in 7 games. Tell me that is the correct amount of red cards. It's absolutely not. This is a blatant bias against Liverpool since the incident with the referee last season and Jurgen Klopp. It looks like the whole referee union, which is a middle-aged boys club, they just rallied against Liverpool and Jurgen Klopp, and they are trying to screw Liverpool over at every single possibility. But now when it turned into much more than that, into corruption and match fixing, see my video yesterday which I uploaded, that the assistant VAR and the VAR referee both worked just 2 days, 48 hours before the Tottenham-Liverpool game. They both worked for the Man City owners. They got paid by the Man City owners to referee a game in the United Arab Emirates, and no other time there was a referee or referees from England in that league in the previous 27 matches. So it's really, really fishy. And this English culture of the referee is always right and you can't question referee, it has to stop, because what should be the most important is for the referee, together with the VAR referees, to make the correct decision, to make the correct outcome. They shouldn't be defending each other. They shouldn't be siding with each other. So no, it was 8 red cards in 7.5 years on the Jurgen Klopp in the Premier League, and now we have 4 red cards in 7 games, which is just ludicrous. So normally Premier League clubs get around 5 red cards in 300 games in 8 years. The last red card for an opponent of Liverpool was 8 years ago, 300 games ago. I mean, when Jurgen Klopp started being the manager, that was the last time an opponent of Liverpool got a red card. Apparently, that's the source is Paul Tompkins. And Adam Crafton, a journalist, hit the nail on the head. He said, you can't have Premier League referees freelancing in competitions for huge amounts of money when there are links to states commonly perceived to own Premier League clubs. This is blindingly obvious. This is fodder for conspiracies, and astonishing. Whoever signed this off can't see that. I mean, whoever signed this up is probably is in on the act as well. So imagine a scenario where FSG, the Liverpool owners, they hired referees to speak in seminars in Boston about football and sports, and they will give them flights, accommodation, dinner, drinks, and a big fat paycheck for speaking at a conference, at a seminar in Boston. That would be called blatant bribery. So why isn't this called that? How can you be impartial as a human when someone is grooming you with work, a mega salary by your normal salary standards, and then you are expected to just go back to work that weekend and not work like you want to help those guys out? I mean, it's blatant bribery is obvious. The United Arab Emirates knows exactly what they are doing, hiring these referees for big money 2 days before a big game. And Liverpool now formally requested the audio to be released about the Luis Diaz offside decision, offside call. And I think this is the big problem, that they don't do this live. In other leagues, the VAR referees talk live on the broadcast, so everybody can hear that. And that's the only way that this would stop it, I think. That's the only way that the referees wouldn't get labeled favoring one team or favoring another. And I mean, it probably will come out after these referees retire what actually happened, but we already have proof that the referees lie and cheat and favor their mates. Because Mark Halsey, who used to be a referee in the Premier League for many years, he claims that referees in the Premier League have been told to lie after matches have been denied. Mark Halsey said, I've been in that situation where I've seen an incident and I've been told by the PGMOL to say I haven't seen it, to blatantly lie and cheat. To be fair to the FA, it's not them, Mark Halsey said. It comes from within the PGMOL. And I mean, if you follow the Premier League closely, you know that a lot of decisions went against Liverpool in the last few seasons. There are compilations on Twitter singling out every single refereeing mistake against Liverpool, and I mean, it's incredible that it's like 3 or 4 minutes long, like watching those videos, and there are so many. I can't even comprehend how many decisions we had going against us. Of course, a lot of clubs had decisions go against them, but these are game-changing, result-changing decisions. And also there are lots of incidents which went Man City's way in seasons where they won the title by 1 point ahead of Liverpool. Liverpool lost out on 3 Premier League titles because of refereeing mistakes, and that's why this is such a sore, very painful issue for Liverpool fans, because we have been experiencing this for years and years and years on end. And I mean, Mark Halsey, we have him on record saying that the organization of PGMOL is corrupt, and that was back in 2012. Now with VAR, no wonder that the Premier League doesn't have the semi-automatic offside system, because that way they can't rig the games anymore. They wouldn't be able to rig the games anymore. So this is really getting more and more obvious. The excuse makes zero sense about VAR, because there were numerous people with numerous opportunities to prevent the error. No lines were shown either, which doesn't really fit with what's being said. It comes out the official is literally being paid by the owners of a rival club to referee in their country. The strongest argument against corruption is that it just seems too blatant. It's concerning that so many people appear to believe that corruption of a match official is impossible. There are many documented instances in other leagues. So I think it's highly likely that it occurs at least once in this Premier League era. And I think it's blatantly obvious what has happened, because there are just too many coincidences. You can have one or two coincidences. When there are 6, 7, 8, 9 coincidences, then I just think it's pretty blatantly obvious what is happening. And unless there is major change and a big independent investigation into the whole organization of PGMOL, the referees union, and how they work, this will just keep fueling these dark conspiracy theories that the referees are bought, they are bribed, and they are not neutral. And that damages the whole of the Premier League. The Premier League's reputation already is damaged massively, because the whole world was watching the Tottenham-Liverpool game. It was one of the most highly anticipated and the most highly watched game in the whole Premier League season, because both teams are going for the title. Both teams are very entertaining to watch, so as expected, a lot of people tuned in. And to have this many horrendous refereeing calls in one game that a lot of people saw really damages the Premier League's reputation, because you can see refereeing mistakes all the time, but this big refereeing mistakes you almost never see. Blatant on a side, Luis Diaz call it offside, and for VAR to not overturn it is just the biggest shocking and worst decision in Premier League history. Many Man United and Chelsea fans and even Tottenham fans said this is the worst refereeing performance that they have seen ever in the Premier League, and that is not giving the Luis Diaz goal is one of the biggest mistakes in football history, and definitely the biggest in Premier League history. And also it stopped Mo Salah's record continuing of either scoring or assisting. He was on an 18-game streak. So I really feel for Luis Diaz, for Mo Salah, for the whole Liverpool team and the Liverpool fan base. But this galvanizes the whole club so much. I already am looking forward to the game on Thursday at Anfield, and also to get to the game on the weekend on Sunday against Brighton, because this will, I think, unite the Liverpool Football Club so much, and this just lit a fire under the whole club, the fan base, the manager, the players. Everybody will be fighting against the world with all that they have until the end of the season. This truly galvanizes Liverpool FC, in my opinion. And Dutch journalist said, Rick Elfrink, that Cody Gakpo is expected to be out for several weeks, but if all goes well, it's only a few weeks, so maybe 3 or 4 weeks. The Dutch matches in October, probably Cody Gakpo won't play in those, but I wish Cody Gakpo a speedy recovery, and I really hope that he will be back in a month maybe. We always fear the worst when these injuries happen and the player has to leave the stadium in a brace, that he will be out for 3, 4, 5, 6 months. But thankfully, hopefully, it will be only out for a month. And also, Liverpool appealed Curtis Jones's red card. I will be very surprised if they overturn it, but let's wait and see what happens with that. And also, it's the international break is coming up, so at least there will be 2 weeks where Liverpool don't play any games, so Cody Gakpo can work on his recovery. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. There will be a new FC24 Liverpool Career Mode episode dropping later today. See you later. Have a nice day. Goodbye.